That's 1-800-839-5587.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. This is Kaplan and Crew on the airwaves of ESPN 1090 on traditional radio, on the stream of YouTube. By the way, all the YouTubers out there, make sure you're getting involved in our YouTube chat and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tonight, you'll catch up to us on television, Channel 4 San Diego, and the Cox Yourview Network, which, by the way, that's where I was going in the opening segment, and then it turned into a whole other deal. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I didn't realize it, but the San Diego Loyal soccer team played against the LA Galaxy's USL team on Saturday night at USD. The game was televised on ESPN Plus, but it must have also been televised on Channel 4 San Diego, because I was getting a lot of people that were hitting me up on Twitter that as soon as the game ended on Channel 4, they had a promo running for our TV show. So I didn't know this on Saturday night, that the Loyals soccer game was going to be telecast on Channel 4 San Diego, but apparently it was, because I'm telling you right now, I got so many people tweeting me going, dude, I was watching the game, and then as soon as the game was over, there was this promo for Kaplan and Crew. So for everybody that's watching on TV tonight, I'm glad you guys are, and glad to have everybody along here on a Monday afternoon. So Grande's out in Chicago at a bachelor party. Still, he's coming back today. Jason Lawhead is in for Grande. Browner's in the house. So, fellas, I'm going to just get right into it. The top story of the day as we broadcast from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, Fernando Tatis is hurt as the Padres start spring training. So for all this talk about will there be baseball and cancel the first 2 series of the season, cancel more games, everybody's on edge about what's going to happen. Then both sides get together, they do a deal. Last week, it's like this celebration. Ooh, baseball is coming back. And Padre fans in particular are very excited because they believe this is the year. They look at the Dodgers and who the Dodgers have, who they lost, who's coming back, who's older, whose arm is right. They're looking at the Dodgers and going, this is the year we can take these guys. And Fernando Tatis is the centerpiece of all of that. And as spring training starts today, and as the first games get played later this week, the news says, when I say the news, I mean the news cycle reports all-star shortstop Fernando Tatis of the Padres will likely need surgery for a broken left wrist and could miss up to 3 months, according to A.J. Preller. He suffered the injury early in the offseason and felt it when he began preparing for spring training. Reports surfaced in December that Tatis had suffered scrapes on his hand and knee in a motorcycle accident in the Dominican Republic. The injury is a blow to the team that was looking for a fresh start, blah, blah, blah. Oh, man. Fernando Tatis, dude. This motorcycle thing from earlier in the offseason, we'd all heard about it. But as is typical in these cases, the Padres don't want anybody to know how bad it is. So what they do is they give it to Kevin Acee, the writer from the Union Tribune. Acee poo-poos the whole thing. Like, it's no big deal. It's nothing major. It's just a tiny little scrape. Nothing, a little cut, a little boo-boo on his knee. Nothing major at all. Nothing to see here, everybody. That's the exact same crap that Acee pulled on that Tommy Pham stabbing incident outside of a strip club. It's nothing major. It's a little Band-Aid. Nothing. It's like a little poke. Like somebody just poked him just a little bit. In the meantime, guy gets shanked and yanked and has like this massive cut on his back and is lucky to be alive. But Kevin Acee's like, no, it's like a little nothing, little boo-boo. And the same goes for Tatis. He fell off a motorcycle. When people hear that, they're like, oh my God, is he okay? Kevin Acee, he's fine. A little scrape, a little boo-boo. They put a Band-Aid on it. He's okay. Nothing to see here, everybody, because that's what the Padres do. They control their message, and they're able to do it by using somebody who's willing to sell himself out like Kevin Acee because he wants access to the organization, because this is kind of like your final job in this business, truth be told. Anyway, I could keep rambling on and on. What do you guys think?
If I remember correctly, which could absolutely be wrong, didn't they deny it even happened at first? Because I remember this story. At first, it was reported that it was a bad accident. He wasn't like really hurt, but he was in a bad motorcycle accident. And then it was reported Oh, it didn't even happen. There was no. AC's article came out and said, well, he was in an accident, but it was very minor, couple of scrapes, nothing wrong. Everybody's fine. And then the story went away. And now you mean to tell me the guy broke his wrist in this accident? Like what?
And just dealing with it now.
Which brings us back to a point about Tatis that I'm really starting to get worried about now. He's got young, rich Superman syndrome. I'm young, I'm rich, and I cannot get hurt because he won't get shoulder surgery. And apparently he didn't want to get surgery on this until he probably was forced to when he started hitting a baseball regularly. It was like, ow, my wrist hurts because it's broken. That's why.
Yeah. And
I'm the biggest Padre. I'm probably one of the bigger rooters as far as this atmosphere goes.
Not rooters. I'd call it more like fanboy.
Sure, it's okay to categorize it as that. This worries me. This is bad because now for the first 3 months of the season, they're probably not going to be good. Facts. I'm just telling you. This injury, for me, completely pops the balloon. It pops it. It pops it. I'm like, okay, what they have? 40 games, 50 games, 10-40.
Yeah, I mean it's a bad start to what is supposed to be a bright season. At the end of the day, when you really break it down, it's kind of a very immature. Listen, when you're a $330 million ball player, there's no such thing as a non-serious motorcycle accident. Okay. I mean, especially a motorcycle accident in a third world country. I mean, at the end of the day, like you have to have more maturity. You have to have more self-awareness. And, I know this Kevin Acee only from moving into this market and just knowing that he writes. I don't really know the depth of him in the media relationships like you might. But not only was this an immature move by an athlete that's supposed to be, even I don't care how young he is, when you're paid that kind of money, you're the captain. I don't care if you're 19, 20, 21. When you're paid that kind of money, you're the captain of the team. And the other thing is the way the organization, apparently the way it looks, and especially through your lens of AC, they're treating this immaturity with kid gloves. So back then, when he got into this motorcycle accident, they wanted to just kind of make it seem like it wasn't that serious. My wrist is a little sore and scraped up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Tell everybody it wasn't serious, like the stabbing, and let's get to spring training. There's going to be a lockout. I'll have time to work on it. And then obviously, repeated use in the cage over something that wasn't taken care of probably took its toll. And here they are. Now, could this be a moment for the Padres to say, look, if it isn't that serious after the surgery, if he's going to recover full go in 3 months, we're going to have him. Maybe this is a little kind of little light that they can use. And I think it's big that Bob Melvin is their manager this year, because it's going to get him engaged quickly with switching some lineups, with tinkering with some batting orders, with figuring out how to score some runs in the top and the middle of that lineup and get guys on base to be able to put them through. And so, find some guys that have a glove and different things there. So, Melvin being a really good manager is going to have to get engaged quickly, keep their heads above water. And if they can keep their heads above water and compete in the West, and they get him back and he's ready to burst out and his wrist is healthy and he's ready to hit, home runs because he's been, pacing like a lion, then maybe it's a bright spot, but it's a dim bright spot. And that's it's a bad look going into this season.
Well, and here's the thing. If you're the Padres, the way you can not be blamed by the fans organizationally, the way that you can kind of push off the blame onto the player rather than take the blame as the organization. Because to your point, Jay, like when he falls off this motorcycle and it's reported, you would think that any organization who has this much money wrapped up into a player of this magnitude, the one thing they're going to want to do is they're going to want to see him immediately.
Yeah.
So whether that's them flying down to the Dominican Republic with their doctors Or they got to say to Tatis, yo, you are property of the San Diego Padres, and you need to get your ass on an airplane, and you need to fly to San Diego, and we need to have our specialists see you because we know what you are. You're a young kid who, I got to say, honestly, he's been kind of defiant towards the organization ever
Yeah.
since he got that big contract. There was a thing last year where he did an interview at his home, which was like an unsanctioned Padres interview,
Mhm.
which that was kind of his way of saying, I'm not going to let you guys control what I'm saying. So I'm going to do it at my house rather than do it, through the organization. That was about him not wanting to get surgery.
Right.
But look, you got a young guy, Browner. I think you're right on. You got a young guy who's gotten all this money, who is supremely talented. I'm not suggesting to you that he's not a hard worker. That's not the case. It's just that he's young and gifted. And so with that, and wants to live the good life.
Mhm.
So now he leaves and goes home, and you lose control of him, and again, he's a young child. You've just listen, I'll say this, and I'm going to just say it like this because I know a lot of people love this kid. I love him as a player too, but I'll just say it like this. If they don't gain some control over him, he's going to get hurt time and time and time again. He is going to become the Padres' Anthony Davis, where you just can't count on him because he plays super hard. He gives up his body all the time. And by the way, when he's not playing hard and doing that in the offseason, he's doing the same thing, but he's down in the DR. He's not here in San Diego.
Right.
I don't know if they can do this, but at some point, when you start giving guys this level of money, no more Dominican for you. Like, we're giving you $500 million. Every time we hear a story about the news and these guys going back down there, it's almost always never good.
Right. And that's where you have to go kind of research the language of this contract. Were the Padres bullied into just backing off of things like, there's a lot of buttoned up contracts when they pay player. You don't play any other sports in the off season. Like, we don't care that you loved basketball and you were all state. Don't ever get on a basketball court. Don't ever get on a set of skis. Don't ever get on a
I
motorcycle.
like where you're going, but let me help you. The Yankees can do that. No facial hair.
Well,
The
right.
Dodgers can probably say no basketball. The Padres cannot tell their first generational player since Tony Gwynn no more fill in the blank. They're
Why
not
not?
going to do it.
Why
They don't
not?
want to rock that apple cart.
Well, then you know what? Then they've made a big mistake.
Then they're partially responsible.
Right. Then they got nobody to blame but themselves if that's the case.
I mean, but you don't think the Yankees wouldn't? The Yankees would do that. The Red Sox would do that. The
Hey,
Cubs
look,
would do that because those teams
Sure
have
they-
cachet. They have
Sure, they
power.
would, and the Padres should have.
Well, and
if
they
they
may have,
didn't,
and
if
they
they
may have.
didn't, they should have. And if they did, then they should look at whatever repercussions they could get back on the
Zero.
contract if he did break any stipulations with doing something to that effect. I don't think they did. I think you're right, Browner. I think at the end of the day, he was probably, in a seat that was strong enough to go, look, lose me if you want. Everybody else wants me. You'll be the villain to the fan base.
Yep.
I won't. I'll be the thing that got away. So let me do whatever I want. Right? Sign this. I'm not, holding myself to these stipulations. I have the control in this situation.
I
Look what-
disagree.
yeah.
Really?
I'm just saying.
I disagree. Here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think that when you're putting out this kind of money for this young of a player, all these kinds of things are likely, this is just my guess, likely to be standard in a contract. Hey,
Okay.
kid, you can't ride motorcycles. Hey, kid, you can't get on skis. Hey, kid, you shouldn't be playing basketball. I'm just using these as examples, but it would seem like skiing and motorcycle riding would probably be pretty standard. Like, I just give you an example. I follow on social media. I saw Drew Brees this past weekend because he's one of my man crushes, of course. And I saw Drew Brees this weekend with his family skiing, and he's wearing a helmet and goggles, and he's got his kids out there skiing. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy, Brees, probably hasn't skied in 20 years. Be a guess. Maybe ever in his life. Grew up in Texas. My point is that he probably never skied because he was always working out in the off season. And he never wanted to take the risk of getting hurt because he took his profession very, very seriously. He took his commitment to the Saints and to the city of New Orleans. I don't mean to get so, blown up about it, but I'll bet you that Brees never got on skis or never did anything particularly risky because he was committed. Whereas a guy like Tatis he's 23, he's loaded, he's having a great time. He wants to go back down to his hometown like the hometown hero returns. He wants to live the good life, and falling off a motorcycle and getting hurt. And the organization will have this excuse. You ready? We were in a lockout. There was nothing we could do.
Right.
That will be their excuse. If it were a normal offseason, we would have flown down there to see him. We would have forced him to fly back to see us. We were in the middle of a lockout. So even if we wanted to send our medical team, or even if we wanted to have him come back, we couldn't communicate. We couldn't visit because we were in the middle of a lockout. So we didn't even know the severity of the injury 3 months ago. We're just like you. We're just finding out about it now. Like, that will be the way the Padres organizationally get off the hook in all of this. You know, when fans ask, why didn't you fix it? Why didn't you go visit him? Why didn't you force him to come back here? We were in a lockout. Sorry. Didn't know how bad it was.
Look, man, that's one hell of a way to set cover fire for yourself. That's one way to shield yourself. And I agree, when you're thinking about it from an ownership perspective, and we both know that they're very media savvy heavy. They know what's going on social media. They feel the pulse of the fan base. So I mean, if I'm them, yeah, I would be looking for cover fire, because the fans are going to want answers from this. This is not going to be something that rolls over. This isn't a sprained ankle. This isn't him getting hurt in the dugout at spring training. Like, this is a broken wrist from months ago. Months. And you mean to tell me that they didn't send somebody to see this guy?
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Bet you they couldn't
do it. And so now at least you get to turn the questions back to him, but they're not going to make him available for questioning.
No, they won't. They're going to try and cover it all up.
Yeah, as they should to a certain extent. But I'm with Jason from this standpoint. He has to be accountable at some point to someone. So sit him in front of AC. Let AC ask him some applesauce questions, and spoon feed the baby, and he can tell you what happened. And Kevin needs to go, well, did you? I don't want to. Did you think about this before you did it?
Do you guys think at the end of Tatis's contract, or let me rephrase it, at the end of Tatis's Padre career, whichever one comes first, he gets moved or he actually makes it through the entire contract? Do you think we'll look back at Tatis's contract and go, that was a great idea? They signed him before they had to. They gave him a ton of money, but it actually turned out to be a lot less because they signed him so early and guys made a lot more thereafter. Because I think the way he plays and the way he lives, we're going to have a hard time ever seeing this kid play a full season. And a full season doesn't have to be 162. It could be 145. It could be 140. Give him a day off here and there. Do you think we'll ever see him play that amount of games for the Padres?
I think he's already been worth what they have paid him so far, because the energy and the face that he's generated for that organization, being on cover of baseball games and commercials, like, they're already getting their money's worth. We just need to keep him on the field. 150, 145 for me, I'll take it, because I don't think it'll be that many. I just don't. I don't. It appears he's fragile. I mean, a motorcycle can hurt anybody, but the shoulder issue, like, who knows?
Yet the kid has come back from injuries time and again,
lights out,
right, and been great.
But the wrist is different.
If you can convince him, I think if you can convince him, which will be hard to do because he's probably young and bullheadish, and we know that he thinks he's immortal just by these types of, ways he plays on and off the field, obviously. If you could convince him that, hey, from Fernando, we're gonna structure a 142 game schedule for you. You're gonna get 20 games off, like it or not, and we're gonna structure you to this type of schedule and plan your days off. And we're gonna, we want you to play hard, absolutely, but we don't want you to sacrifice life and limb out there. We want you to, kind of behave and look out for yourself when you're not on the diamond and in the off season. But I think in that sense, you could regularly get him on that 100 and at least near that mark. Yeah, he might turn an ankle during that season and he misses 10 more than you planned him to miss, and it's 132 or 133. But I think you'll consistently get a better chance of that being his full season if you can get him to agree to play in that space. But if you're going to have a guy that's going to go, no, I want to play every single day, then yeah, I agree with Kaplan. It might be hard to get him out there every day.
I'm more worried about his offseason. Browner, how much time do I got here? I want to make mention
out of time.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I have it at 1944.
It was 1950. We had 1954, and we only had 10 minutes and 6 seconds when we came back because we're going 21 minutes.
Right. So I have us at 1944.
We'll keep it rolling then.
So we definitely have at least another minute. I mean, I'm just concerned about that. You know what I mean? I don't want to come up short.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we're out of time. Okay. So I'm gonna jump right in. Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, then let me have a minute here to tell everybody about Mazda of Escondido, mazdaofescondido.com. Hey, Jay, when you drove my son's Mazda CX-5, you liked that vehicle, didn't you?
I really did. I mean, and you know what? If Tatis, if you're listening, get yourself into one of those and buckle up, buddy.
Right. Use the seatbelt, pal. That's right.
They got airbags.
Right.
They got seatbelts.
Right. Hey, listen.
Good, it handles really well.
Right. If you have a child like Fernando Tatis and you want to get your kid into a really, really safe car that's super affordable and has all the modern technology, I'm going to say the Mazda CX-5 is a great car. They've got them at Mazda of Escondido. The general manager there is a gentleman named Alan. Walk in, go, yo, I'm looking for Alan. He's the GM. Kaplan keeps telling me to talk to Alan. Tell Alan you're a great friend. Tell him you're a Kaplan and Crew listener. He's going to set you up and take really good care of you. I've told this story. I turned 2 cars into 3 cars, and I'm paying less for the 3 Mazdas than I was for the other 2 older cars. Alan's going to take really good care of you. They got a beautiful brand new showroom. They redid the whole thing during COVID. Go to mazdaofescondido.com, Mazda of Escondido in the Escondido Auto Park. Check them out, Mazda of Escondido. All right, we'll get back to Tatis, and I want to get to the...
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on Your View, starting March 17th.
Hey Hoops fans, Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval, to buy a new home, meet with the realtor. We would help you facilitate that and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're going to do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby wrap-up and Major League Rugby, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on YourView, starting March 17th.
Welcome to the 2022 San Diego Loyal season, live on YourView. Watch the San Diego Loyal host the Sacramento Republic FC, March 19th at 7 p.m. Come join us at the Torero Stadium and support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Come join the fun. Tickets are available. San Diego Loyal versus the Sacramento Republic FC, Saturday at 7 on YourView.
Hey, Hoops fans, Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we dance to the Dome on YourView.
Here's Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State men's basketball is headed to the NCAA tournament. On Sunday, the Aztecs were seated at number 8 in the Midwest region and are set to face number 9 Creighton in the first round on Thursday in Fort Worth, Texas. This is SDSU's 9th NCAA tournament appearance in the last 13 years, 16th in program history, and the 3rd in the last 5 years under head coach Brian Dutcher. SDSU has matched up with Creighton 7 times in program history. Their last meeting came in November 2019 at the Las Vegas Invitational, where the Aztecs got the win 83-52. SDSU is 3-4 against Creighton, but 2-0 in neutral site matchups. The winner of this matchup between SDSU and Creighton will play number 1 seeded Kansas on March 19th. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
It doesn't matter what your background is and where you come from. If you have dreams and you have goals, and that's all that really matters.
I owe a lot to Charlie.
When you black, it's not a movement, it's a lifestyle. This is who we are.
The Rising. Check your local listings for air dates and times.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. We welcome you back to the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Come on down and visit. Just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego, the beautiful Bay of Chula Vista, a completely smoke-free environment, table games on one side, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar on the other. You're going to have a fantastic time at 7 Mile Casino and 7milecasino.com. So we're back on the radio airwaves. We're back on the stream of YouTube. Tonight, we're back on television, Channel 4 San Diego. By the way, thanks to everybody who was watching the San Diego Loyal versus LA Galaxy game on Saturday night on Channel 4, because so many of you guys hit me up on Twitter after the game saying as soon as the game was over, they went to commercial break and there was a promo for the Kaplan and Crew TV show. So thanks for everybody for putting that out on social media. That's how we spread the word. Jason Lawhead is in for Grande Alejandro. Jay, we started talking about Fernando Tatis. It's hard to believe that as we start this week, over the weekend, one of the biggest stories of the weekend, forget about NCAA basketball tournament, we'll get there, but that Tom Brady decides, not even sitting out a game or a season, that Tom Brady is coming out of retirement. 2 months of full-time family, man, and Tom Brady has come to the realization, I can't do this. I got to play ball. And the reason Tom Brady can play ball till he's 44 or 45 years old is because the entire time in his entire career, he has taken care of his body better than anybody else in pro sports. And that includes LeBron James and everybody else for that matter. And you say, well, how do you know, tough guy? Because he's 44 and he's still doing it. And LeBron's 37. And while LeBron can score 50 points in a night, Tom Brady is still leading teams to Super Bowl championships in his mid-40s because the guy cared about his body, cared about his team, cared about his organization. Somebody got to get that Tom Brady mindset into Fernando Tatis's brain. Bro, I get it. You're 23. You're extremely gifted. You got $300+ million coming to you over the next however many years it is. But young man, for us to be great, you have to be great. For you to be great, you got to be available to play, which means you can't be riding motorcycles in the Dominican Republic in the off season. So I don't know, man. I just think it's ironic. Young kid who is hurt all the darn time. And again, the Padres will use this. They'll say, hey, look, it was the lockout. We couldn't go there to see him. He couldn't come here to see us. That's why we didn't know how bad the injury was. That's why at the beginning of spring training, we're just now telling you this guy's going to be out for 3 months. Somebody got to get to Tatis and teach him about how Brady takes care of his body so that he can start taking care of his body that way. I know I'm on a rant today, but it irritates the living hell out of me because really, the Padres did not have to give Tatis this amount of money. They didn't have to make this type of a commitment. I know on one hand, they're probably looking at it and going, if we sign him now and we give him a ton of money, he gets security, but we get security. We got him locked up. And 3 years from now, that $300+ million contract, that's going to look like a bargain. And it may, as long as he can play.
Unless he uses the first 100 million to buy a collection of motorcycles, yeah, then it's a good investment. But if he's got, a plane hangar full of, crotch rockets, then it's going to be a bad investment. But yeah, no, they got ahead of the investment. And you're right. I mean, he's got to, maybe do a little iThrive MD, maybe get him on some iThrive, but Brady coming out of retirement. I mean, it's kind of I think it's a big, people are making it a bigger story than it really is. He didn't retire, really. I mean, he said he did, but he basically just gave up football for Lent is what he did. I mean, come on. Coming out of retirement is like going and playing minor league baseball for 2 years and then coming out of retirement. Coming out of retirement is going to get like HIV treatments for a year or so and then coming out of retirement. Like that's Magic and Jordan. They came out of retirement. This is just a guy that was like, wait a minute, that Brazilian accent's pretty annoying. I'm going back to play football. But yeah, I don't care how hot she is. She never shuts up. Anyway.
Listen to this guy, right? Telling it the way it is. Right?
No, listen, I told you guys though. This wasn't gonna last long. I knew it. The guy's wired different. There's no way this guy. Oh, I want to spend time with my family. All right, you're gonna get tired of them way quicker than you got tired of football. You'll be back. I knew he would be back. I 100% knew. I never believed it at all. Zero, none, nada. A person that driven has to be broken to leave the game. He has to be.
Yeah.
A guy like that, He's not walking away healthy.
No.
He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year.
No. He was statistically the best quarterback in the league last year, which, by the way, is why I think, and you guys tell me, it's we can goof around and joke around about, he retires for a couple of months and he's around his wife and his kids and he realizes this is not what I'm wired to do. But is it really just his wife and kids? Is it really like going off into retirement? Or is it just about, look, I'm 44. I can still play. I passed for 5,300 yards this past season. I passed for more yards this past season than at any other time in my career. Doesn't mean I played my best. It just means that statistically, I was able to pass for more yardage than at any time in my career. If you told me last year Tom Brady missed 6 games and passed for 3,000 yards, he might look in the mirror and say, didn't really have a very good season. Body's starting to break down. Now's probably the right time to do this. But I think if you're Brady, one, you had a monster statistical season. 2, you're still in great shape. 3, you said you wanted to play till you're 45 and you're only a year away. 4, the offseason sucks because you're not practicing and training and doing everything, getting yourself ready for ball. And I just think in the final analysis, this guy looks around the rest of the NFC. He sees Russell Wilson move to the AFC. What is he seeing in the NFC where he thinks, you know what, this is too hard. This isn't going to happen. We're in a rebuild. This is going to take a long time. I think Tom Brady looks around at the NFC and goes, yeah, the Rams came here and beat us. But the fact of the matter is they were kicking our asses. We made this monster comeback. They threw a long bomb at the end of the game. That's how they beat us on our home field. Russell Wilson's gone. They've got Stafford. Who are we really fearful of in the NFC? I actually think we can make another run to the Super Bowl. Now, whether or not we're going to beat Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson in Denver or Josh Allen in Buffalo or anything else, I just think that Tom Brady looks at the NFC and goes, I can get back to the Super Bowl. Like this year, I can get back. So I don't really know. I don't know if it's just about being annoyed with family or if he just thinks he can still win.
See, I don't think it's any of those
Tell me
things.
what you think.
Because a guy like that looks up and sees the traffic in front of him and goes, one more challenge. One more, let's do it one more time. Yes, we almost won that game, and because of the way we almost won that game, I need again. I need to run it back. But he's not afraid of the competition. I'm telling you, this man got home, went on a vacation, was like, okay, we do this every year. This is normal. And then they got back from the vacation. They went home to this big, massive house they got, this palatial estate. Then his wife had to go do whatever it is she does. His kids went to school. Kids got home from school. Didn't want to hang out with them because they got friends, because he hadn't been around for 20 years. And they go, he's sitting by himself when he normally be watching film, getting ready for the upcoming season. He's like, oh, I guess I can do a business deal today. Like, let me see what Alex Guerrero's doing. Like, he got bored because that was going to be his life. And he went, no. None of this. Vacation over. I'm coming back. I'm telling you, that had to have, in my opinion, had more to do with it than saying, oh, Russell Wilson's going to the AFC. Because he kicked his butt last year. So he's not looking around at these dudes going, oh, competition. He's looking around his house going, I am bored as hell. Like, I got to get out of here. I got to get back to work. I need some film in my life.
You know what my life is missing right now? Film.
I need to watch some film.
Did you see, J-Law, I know you were busy this weekend and you were out in Cleveland, you're doing comedy shows, but did you see, because I wasn't watching it, but my son came home and he told me, and this is before I shipped him back off to college. My son goes, Dad, did you see the game today? This is Saturday afternoon. I go, which game? Which game are you talking about? He goes, the Manchester United game. I'm like, no, I didn't see it. And I think that he thought that because we were going to the San Diego Loyal game on Saturday night, that all of a sudden I'm spending the rest of my time watching soccer, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I just thought maybe to prep for the Loyal game tonight, you're going to be
do
watching
crash
the Man U
courses
game,
in soccer, yeah.
Right? But did you see that, like, the greatest soccer player on the planet, or at least one of them, if you're a soccer guy, you know this. I don't consider myself that, but Ronaldo. Did you guys see what happened this weekend? Did you guys catch this?
You got booed or something?
No, he scored 3 goals. Did you see this? He scored a hat trick. Jay, this is news to you, right, Jay?
Yeah, man, I'm not into the soccer thing, but I know what a hat trick is.
No, but Browner, did you not see Ronaldo score 3 goals? Okay, so let me just say this. Anybody who's a major soccer fan out there, bear with me, because I'm going to try and explain to Jason and to Browner how the Ronaldo 3 goals has something to do with Tom Brady. Am I telling you guys something you don't know completely for real?
Totally.
After this, Jason and I are going to do a hockey breakdown.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I know who Ronaldo is. I know.
Oh, I know the video you're about to refer to.
Here's the story. So apparently Brady is somewhere in Europe this weekend because and again, everybody who's a major soccer fan out there, don't come at me here. I'm doing the best I can for somebody who does not consider themselves a Premier League international soccer fan. Here goes.
Football, I think they call it.
Right. So Ronaldo plays for Man U. And they were playing against Tottenham this past weekend. Right. I only know who Tottenham is because everybody tells me I should be a Tottenham fan because I guess they got a whole bunch of Jewish people that are like I don't know why they're connected to Tottenham, but anyway, people are like, that should be your team, Hebrew brother. So Man U's playing Tottenham, and Ronaldo scores 3 goals. The first goal is early in the game. Unbelievable shot from way out. I mean, you just can't believe the tap with the foot and then the blast with the other foot and how it gets by the goalie at 200 miles an hour. Okay, goal 1. Goal 2, there was a questionable offsides call, but the ball was centered and Ronaldo's right there and he puts it right through the goalkeeper. And then goal 3 is his brilliant header off of a corner kick. So 3 goals for Ronaldo in a game, which I think they said is only the second time in his career he's had 3 in a game.
Wow.
I think. Okay. But it's all back to Brady. After the game, there's Brady on the field, and they were saying on social media, the GOAT meets the GOAT. So like the GOAT of soccer meets the GOAT of American football. And they are on the field and they're hugging it out and they're talking to each other. And Ronaldo says something to Brady like, you're not really done. Come on, man. Really? Like you're really, really retired? And Brady sort of says something, but then it's kind of inaudible. And then, here, Browner's putting it up on the screen for everybody who's watching it right now. He's putting it up on Twitter. So, Lawhead, you seeing this? J-Law?
I'm trying to see it.
Yeah. So this is the deal. So now here you have Brady, and I suspect his children, meeting Ronaldo on the field after a game. I think this is after the game. And Ronaldo's asking Brady, are you really, really done? And Brady says something that people couldn't quite make out. And then later in the day on social media, that's when Brady makes his announcement that he's coming back. So that's the storyline of how Ronaldo and soccer and his 3 goals all are related to Tom Brady. Okay.
Look at me pull that.
Dude, that was impressive.
Let me go full Alex. Let me go full Alex right there, bro.
That was impressive, Browner. Very impressive, Browner. You guys didn't know this story, huh?
No,
man. You gotta tell
nothing.
me.
It doesn't shock me. Like I learned about it on the plane yesterday, watching Southwest TV. Usually today, I feel cheated. Usually today's day and age, you learn everything on Twitter or online first, and then I was like, "What is this? What is this breaking news, Tom Brady? I'm seeing this on TV. How was I so late to this?"
Right, when you're getting news on television, you're late to the party.
This is appalling that I'm finding out. I don't have a chance to tweet. Like I said earlier, it's not. I think it's less of a story than it is. I mean, it's Tom Brady still playing football is the bigger story, whether he would have retired or not. I mean, I think if the bare bones of it is even if he didn't, when he announced his retirement, if he would have just said, I'm coming back for another year, I think that's just, that's obviously still playing it going into 45 at the level he is has always been the story. But this isn't some coming out of retirement. Like I said, you have to be retired and then come out of retirement and people be like, wow, he's still got it. We know he's still got it. He didn't lose it. I mean, he hasn't retired.
We just saw him.
Well, I saw somebody say on social media this weekend, Brady had to try and one-up the NCAA basketball tournament. He had to get his name into the news cycle on a day that would normally be just dedicated to the NCAA tournament. I was like, okay. I mean, that's the Brady hater out there. Speaking of the NCAA tournament, guys, I'm going to be curious because I filled out my first bracket. Have you guys already filled out a bracket yet? Yeah.
Already?
I haven't got to it yet.
Wow.
Dude, I filled out my first one because my first one is just go ahead with your gut. Just before you do any thinking, because I don't know anything about the NCAA tournament. In other words, Jay, I don't know about you. You know, you're doing a lot of basketball games as
Yeah.
a referee. You're watching a lot of NBA games.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but I just wasn't watching a whole lot of college basketball this year.
Right.
In fact, every time I turned on ESPN at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a college basketball game on. It didn't matter who it was. I was like, I'm just not interested. Now, the San Diego State side of things, I wanted to keep in touch, and Alex kept us up to speed the whole season. And then it took to get to the Mountain West Conference tournament to get me to watch San Diego State, which I think probably by now it's Monday. Everybody knows San Diego State did not win against Boise State in the final. Yep, that quick turnaround, and it was a great game. I mean, back and forth battle, close game, but San Diego State.
Come on, guy, call it
Which
like
is?
it is. Call it like it is. Their final place sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
I mean, a floater through the lane was not what I would call a high percentage shot.
A floater through the lane, and in addition to the floater through the lane, the kid in the corner is wide open, whose name I can't remember at this time, but shocker. Just terrible. Just come on, guy. What are you doing?
Yeah. But San Diego State's in. Boise State, Colorado State, Wyoming. I mean, these schools from the Mountain West, they made their way in. But I was looking at my first bracket. So I filled one out online right away. And then, of course, I don't know about everybody else. I have to print a bracket. I have to hold a bracket in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Are you that way?
Mm-hmm.
I have to hold the bracket. I need to see which South, Midwest, East, West. Usually I like to have the brackets even where they tell me what cities the games are being played in. But that screws me up now because you can have the city, but different brackets. So I've printed out my brackets. I've filled out my first ones. Now I'm going to fill out my second one in paper, and I'm sure they'll be completely different. I watched CBS's coverage of the NCAA tournament this weekend, and I saw both. Let's see, Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis both had Arizona and Gonzaga in the championship game. Davis picked Gonzaga. No, Davis picked Arizona, and Clark picked Gonzaga. And I guess the connection there is that Gonzaga's head coach, Mark Few, spawned, if you will, or the coach from Arizona now comes from the Gonzaga tree. Do you guys know about this at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
The term spawned never really comes out well.
Yeah, it didn't really. That didn't make a lot of sense, did it? But so I'm in. I mean, now it's NCAA tournament time, and I found out, I didn't even know this, that the championship this year, the Final Four. Do you guys know where the Final Four is this year? Yeah, I didn't know that either. April 4th is the championship weekend. And I'm telling you, I knew so little about college basketball this year. So I just filled out my first bracket, just kind of a run through. And I'm picking like 9s over 8s, unless it was the San Diego State Creighton matchup. I'm picking 12s over 5s. I'm looking for some upset somewhere in like a 14-3 range. I'm looking.
I'm trying to. I'm going to make a bracket for
You
the
are.
great friends.
J-Law, you in? You want to play?
Yeah, I like, and I really like San Diego State's draw. I think Creighton is a good first round beatable matchup for them, and I think if they're in the region that has the weakest 1 seed, I think Kansas, if you were to look at the 1 seeds, are probably the weakest of the 4 1 seeds in my opinion. And I think it's I watch enough college basketball and I pay attention this year to San Diego State a little more than I ever have. Because I've just really liked that program, and now living in this market, I really like what they do. And yeah, I think they match up well with Kansas as far as some length around the glass, and that matchup will all be predicated on how San Diego State were to take care of the basketball against Kansas in that environment. But Kansas has been known, under Bill Self, they've won a lot of Big 12 conference titles, but they've been known to have some early surprising exits when they've been high seeds over the years, when they had, the years they haven't gone deep into the tournament. They've had some kind of head scratching. How'd they lose to that team?
Right.
So San Diego State's in a good first.
It could be exciting if San Diego State if San Diego State could get by and then take on Kansas. Well, let me give you guys a heads up here for everybody that's listening. If you're a college basketball fan, I want to remind you that you can join the action on the court during the biggest tournament of the year with DraftKings Sportsbook. So let me just have a minute to tell everybody about what DraftKings has for them. You can turn your team's victory into your own big win. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win $200. So bet 5 to win 200. Now, if a sports book is not available in your state, like it's not here in California, you can still join in the college hoops action by going to the DraftKings pools Everyone can play free pools all March long for a shot to win your part of over $250,000 in prizes. Simply join a pool and answer questions like who will make it to the next round, who will hit the most three-pointers, and then track your results. So here's what we ask you guys to do, and DraftKings is a really big deal to have on our show. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code GreatFriends. Bet just $5 on any college basketball team, and you can win $200 in free bets if your team wins. So if you bet on San Diego State and they win, your $5 bet turns into $200 of free bets. So this is a really fun thing to do during the NCAA basketball tournament. And if you just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use our promo code GreatFriends, you're going to get this deal. Bet $5 to win $200. You have to be 21 and over. There are restrictions that apply. And I will just say, if anybody has a problem with gambling, 1-800-GAMBLER is the phone number to call. This is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to take over your life. All right, we've gotten to Brady. We've gotten to Tatis. We've started talking NCAA tournament. We got so much more to get to. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
We were the first. We carry the fire that began civilizations, and then we built them. We strengthened a nation, and then we fought for it. We are scientists, poets, and lawmakers. We are artists, leaders, and warriors. And as we gaze toward tomorrow, we leave an indelible mark on the past. Black History Month on Your View is proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State men's basketball is headed to the NCAA tournament. On Sunday, the Aztecs were seated at number 8 in the Midwest region and are set to face number 9 Creighton in the first round on Thursday in Fort Worth, Texas. This is SDSU's 9th NCAA tournament appearance in the last 13 years, 16th in program history, and the 3rd in the last 5 years under head coach Brian Dutcher. SDSU has matched up with Creighton 7 times in program history. Their last meeting came in November 2019 at the Las Vegas Invitational, where the Aztecs got the win 83-52. SDSU is 3-4 against Creighton, but 2-0 in neutral site matchups. The winner of this matchup between SDSU and Creighton will play number 1 seeded Kansas on March 19th. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrak, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years, and he started this business out of a studio apartment, and look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for Prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support, so when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases, so Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. If you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're going to do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 a.m. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
When you're craving great Mexican food.
Wait, sometimes we don't?
Oh, good point. Well, the best place to go is
Valle Luna. Hey, come along and find out why Valle Luna es lo mejor de lo mejor. Today on
Su Vida.